This parish church behind me is the only one in the whole of England that has a complete set of original medieval stained glass. Find out exactly where I am in just a moment. Today, a married couple celebrating a 10-year union are in search of their first home together. How are you feeling?
Excited, relieved.
Are you?
Yes.
Not as much as me. And I'm striving to give our buyers exactly what they want. That's the happiest Sue I've seen Charles all day.
He does like his ensuite.
Today I'm in the Cotswolds at St Mary's Church in the small Gloucestershire town of Fairford, and there's been a church here on this site since the 1100s. But this present structure has its origins in the 15th century, which is when it was adorned with 28 stained and painted glass windows featuring a visual account of the Bible story. Now, it's remarkable to think that some 500 years later, these iconic panes have survived largely intact and provide a kaleidoscope of colour and a captivating history, very much like the Cotswolds landscape itself. The Cotswolds is a range of hills in the southwest of England, lying between Oxford and Bristol and covering 790 square miles. It's a designated area of outstanding natural beauty which dominates most of Gloucestershire, but also spills into Oxfordshire as well as 4 other counties. The area abounds with gentle rolling hills and farmland, dissected by hedges and trees with livestock hugging hillsides, and wildflowers providing bursts of colour, breaking up the vivid green. Local limestone supplies the honey-coloured stone that gives the Cotswolds its unique look. Towns like Bourton-on-the-Water, known as the Venice of the Cotswolds, and Lower Slaughter in the north of the region present perfect examples of the architectural beauty in the Gloucestershire Cotswolds. This delightful area attracts an estimated 38 million tourists a year from around the globe, and less than 2 hours from London and close to Oxford, the Cotswolds is a popular choice for people choosing to escape city life, whether permanently or as a weekend retreat. As you can imagine, bargains are hard to come by here in the Cotswolds. Average prices for a detached home start at £500,000. Now that's almost double the national figure. And for a home in one of the more sought-after villages, you can easily pay double that. So what exactly are today's buyers after? Well, let's meet them and find out. French teacher Charles and his wife Sue from Hemel Hempstead in Hertfordshire have had a blissfully happy union for 10 years.
We met in 2004. It was at a school ball. My eyes met on Sue, and the next morning I woke up and I thought, that's my little present from God. And from that day to this, I haven't changed my mind.
4 years ago, they decided to make their partnership official.
We got married in 2010. We got married in the school chapel, and we went on honeymoon to the Cotswolds, which is where we're hoping to move to.
The Gloucestershire Cotswolds is very close to both their hearts.
When we first met, Sue was actually living in the Cotswolds, and so she's got a very strong attachment to it, and I used to go and visit her there, obviously, as often as I possibly could. And I feel a very strong affinity to it. It's a very special area. There's lots of lovely countryside, lots of lovely towns to visit.
Sue and Charles live in a flat in the boarding school where Charles works in Hemel Hempstead, which couldn't be more different to the area of their dreams.
It's large and sprawling and very populated, and I just can't wait to get back to more rural living.
My lifestyle is wonderful. I love every aspect of it. I love my job. I have lots of activities in the area. I sing in the local choir, I play chess, but I think that it's missing 1 or 2 key aspects, which is why we want to escape to the country.
Checkmate.
We want to have a place where we can have Sue's daughters, my stepchildren, to stay, where we can invite guests to come for the weekend, and where we're a bit further away from London as well.
It's not just family and friends who are important in this move. 2-year-old Bertie, an English pointer, will be heading to the country too.
We would like to be able to have a nice large garden he can run around in, and hopefully to be able to walk from the house. That is what I'm really looking forward to, rather than clambering in the car every 5 minutes,
Yes.
which is what we do now.
So with Sue's own house under offer and Charles's school flat kept on to accommodate him in term time, there's nothing stopping this lively couple from pursuing their rural dream.
This is going to be the first property we've purchased together. I think it'll be very exciting. I expect Charles will end up doing as I say.
No change there.
I'm hoping that we'll be able to buy and furnish it together, and so that he has his stamp on it as well.
I think Sue will tell me what the perfect property is and I will agree with her.
Sue adores the honey-coloured hues of Cotswold stone, and they both love the Gloucestershire part of the region where the stone houses are abundant. So we're concentrating our search around the town of Cirencester. But before we begin our hunt for a country home for Sue and Charles, I've come to meet them to get a better picture of what it is they're looking for. So Sue and Charles, welcome to the Cotswolds. Beautiful part of the world. We're finding a home for both of you. That's correct, isn't it? And it's the first home you're going to have bought together.
It is.
right.
Sue, this is going to be your home full-time. And Charles, you're going to come down as many times as you can.
Often as I can, yes.
So what are we looking for then with this perfect family home?
We want a detached house.
Yes.
With a nice garden.
Yeah.
A flat garden. And we want it somewhere near where we can walk the dog.
Right.
And a nice fireplace. And most importantly, a nice little man cave that I can call my own, with a nice sturdy lock on the door.
I do love your honesty, Charles. What about you, Sue? Do you agree?
Yes.
What would you
I
like?
could embellish. Stone, I think, is important when one's in the Cotswolds. And I would stretch it from garden to land. I could quite see an acre with outbuildings.
So ideally, you do want a bit of land.
Yeah.
We also want it to be within close reach of sort of a nice sort of deli, coffee shoppy sort of place. So in the morning after, you know, a nice cooked breakfast, I can stroll into town and have a coffee and
Now, this
read
is
my
a
newspaper.
first. Normally,
Yes.
and I don't like to stereotype people, the gentlemen always want to be quite close to a pub. Edge of a village, close to a pub. You, Charles, have taken it to another league, a deli stroke cafe.
That's it.
Any compromises? You know, is there a deal breaker anywhere along the line? Because I'm slightly concerned about the list of wants.
I think that if I had to have a painted house, rather than a stone house, I'd compromise there if everything else was correct.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to the next few days. We've got some houses lined up to show you. Remind me again of your budget.
At the very top end, 550. There's something for 500 would be perfect.
Well, I think we should finish our tea and coffee because weather might be clearing. We can start with our first property.
Oh, brilliant. Looking forward to it.
Sue and Charles have a generous budget, but they've chosen a pricey region and they've got some rather exacting requirements in mind. They'd like a detached stone house with at least 3 bedrooms, so Sue's 2 daughters and friends can visit. They want big level grounds for their dog Bertie to run around with plenty of walking opportunities nearby. And they're hoping to be close to a community where Charles is looking forward to enjoying local shops and cafes. We've searched the county and have chosen 3 excellent properties, one of which could become Sue and Charles's first joint home. And only after they've viewed each house will they find out its cost. Our final visit will be to the mystery house, which may be taking them slightly off-piste, but will hopefully give them something they didn't even know they wanted. How do you feel, Sue, about, primarily living on your own every week? It's only going to be the weekends, obviously, in the holidays that Charles is going to come to see you.
I think the weeks will go by so quickly. Time just flies anyhow. And Bertie, the dog he'll be a great companion from when Charles isn't there.
So, Charles, are you looking forward to spending weekdays at the school, but then weekends escaping to the Cotswolds?
I can't wait to having blissful weeks at school. Able to leave my shoes where I like, the remote control in random places. I'll be able to find everything because it won't have been tidied up.
And then at the weekends, of course, coming back to the countryside. So are you looking forward to it as well, Charles?
I am, hugely, actually.
We're kicking off our trip in Gloucestershire on the eastern edge of the Cotswolds. The hamlet of Netherton, just on the outskirts of the village of Quennington, is 8 miles east of Cirencester. Quennington displays the typical Cotswold stone cottages and dry stone walls the region is famous for. It's home to a sociable community with great country walks their dog Bertie would love. And the nearby market town of Fairford, with its cafes, restaurants and shops, will give Charles the thriving centre he's hoping for. An 8-minute drive takes us back to Netherton.
So, our very first property, it's quite an unusual layout. It's the property right in the centre.
Wow.
So that's a different property there and a different property there.
Yes,
Right.
Victorian barn.
Yes.
Dates back to about 1850. And in 1995, they were converted into 6 separate dwellings. So you do have neighbours, I think it's fair to say.
Yes.
Which wasn't on the wish list,
No.
but I think this property does have merit. So what do you think, first impressions?
I think it's very balanced looking. I love the stone. I like the roof tiles.
Charles,
Fantastic.
what's your first impression?
It's not detached,
It's not, no.
which was the #1 thing on our list.
Right.
And who does this garden belong to? Is that jointly owned? Or
Yes, so that's owned by the community.
is there more garden around the back, or is this...
Oh, I can't give too much away, Charles.
Okay.
Can't give too much away.
Okay, then.
But what do you think of the property itself?
That's lovely.
Yes, I think it's all plus apart from they're attached.
Well, let's step inside and see if the property itself changes your mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
This delightful barn may have next-door neighbours, but this area is one of the most costly in the country. And even on our buyer's generous budget of over £500,000, compromises have to be made to give them the space and garden they want. Leading off a spacious hallway is the first reception room.
Charles is smiling at me.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah?
Yes.
You're not going to get excited about a hallway, though, are you?
No. It's a very nice hallway.
I like him. OK, let's start with the sitting room. So what do you make of the sitting room?
Well, it's very light, which is very nice.
Because you probably gathered this property isn't enormous. It's quite a small building, but I think they've made the most of it, and the ceilings do give you much more space.
Yes, it makes it airy. Yes. So apart from size, I think it's a lovely room.
Great.
All of the downstairs rooms lead off the hallway, and next to the sitting room is the kitchen, also with views to the garden.
It's nicely appointed. It's very attractively done, but in my mind, I was thinking of sort of farmhouse table,
Right,
maybe
yes.
a sofa.
Yeah.
So it's a living kitchen, so the dog can be in the kitchen, so you don't really want the dog all through the house. Possibly it's not the right sort of size for our needs.
I actually quite like something quite small.
He likes
actually.
small, yeah.
I think it's just less hassle.
Yeah.
Charles likes small, and I always seem to want colossal, but we've got to try and get a happy medium.
On the other side of the hallway is a dining room at the front of the house and a double bedroom and bathroom at the back. And upstairs, the rooms are in the eaves with skylights to the front and back.
So when this barn was originally converted, it was just the downstairs. And then the owners before decided to put 2 bedrooms upstairs as well. So you've got a double here, you've got another bathroom, and then one just across the way. Come on, talk to me, Sue.
Bijou.
Bijou, good word.
Very attractive. I'm looking for more sort of space, a bit more elbow room,
Yeah.
let's say.
And Charles?
I always agree with Sue because it's safer that way. But actually, I think I genuinely agree with her on this one.
Yeah.
I think it's beautifully done, and I think the vendor's just done it absolutely stunningly. But I think what I feel is, I feel either side I've got people there.
There's no getting away from the fact that this property isn't detached, but I'm hoping the beautiful gardens which belong to this house may change things, as the outside space is so important to Sue and Charles and their dog.
So it's quite formal. I don't know how your dog would cope.
He
You'd
would
have
make,
this garden up in a
he'd make
minute.
short shrift of the plants.
It's so stunning, isn't it?
It is
It's a
stunning.
Do you
beautiful
think
garden.
so?
It is absolutely beautiful. And
Stunning.
It is, yes.
Yes.
I think this is one of the most beautifully kept gardens that I've seen. So I think we've discussed really everything that there is to know about the barn, but we haven't put a price on it. So how much do you think it's on the market for?
Well, it is a beautiful house, but it is terraced effectively. So I would put it on at 535.
OK.
I might put it a bit more, 545.
545. Now, your budget, your top budget was 550,000, but you
Yes.
wanted, ideally, for a house around 500,000,
Yes.
didn't you? The asking price for this property, and it's only just gone on the market, is £445,000.
Oh!
I like it a lot more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I am absolutely amazed. And it's a lovely surprise, actually.
Yeah. Well, why don't you explore, have another look on your own, but give me a shout when you're ready.
Will do.
Off you go.
Oh, thank you.
It is the most perfect home. Perfect, but I think they're being honest. It's just that little bit too small for their needs. Such a shame. Such a shame. But it's only house number 1.
This converted barn is full of character and comes in at £105,000 under our buyer's top budget, giving them plenty left in the pot to play with. It may not be detached, but it is built from the local stone sewer doors and has just the number of bedrooms they want. It has superb gardens and is close to many scenic paths perfect for walking Bertie, and it's not too far from civilization, which will suit Charles down to the ground.
Look at the
Yes.
strawberries.
It's lovely. So well tended for.
Yes, that's a nice looking shed. That's going to be your man cave. Yes. I thought that it was very beautiful. I love the stone, I love the roof tiles, but straight away very aware of the attached buildings either side.
It's an absolutely lovely house. I think the garden, which is beautiful and exquisitely done, I think our dog would tear it up in a moment.
Right, you two, how are you feeling?
Well, it is a delightful, immaculately appointed house, but I don't think it's going to quite do it for us.
Just a little bit too small?
Just a little bit too small.
Well, it's only our first property.
Yes.
I've got more to show you.
Brilliant.
Fabulous, thank you.
Sue and Charles are animal lovers and foodies, so we've arranged for them to visit Hunts Court Farm in the Forest of Dean in the northwest corner of Gloucestershire, where Charles Martel, an award-winning cheesemaker, makes a unique product from the milk from his local cows.
You've come to Gloucestershire, so the one thing you'll expect to see are Gloucester cows. They are quite rare, so you won't see them in every field, but we keep about 14 of them, which we use for cheese making.
How do you distinguish the old Gloucester cows?
It's the white tail and the white stripe on the back.
How endangered is this breed?
Well, it's very endangered in the sense there are about 500 females left. But in 1972, when we came to the farm, there were just 68 left in the world.
The region is famous for its double Gloucester cheese, but 20 years ago, Charles invented and developed a cheese he produces with milk from his herd. It's soft and pungent and lives up to its name, Stinking Bishop.
Do you think your cheese has made awareness of these beautiful cows?
I'd say a massive yes, and that's been wonderful because those cows are what I care about.
They're very, very handsome.
I'm glad you think so, because I do too.
The milk from Charles's cows, plus more from neighbouring farms, produces about 3/4 of a tonne of the smelly cheese a week. He's the only producer in the world of his rather pongy invention, and it's sold to 27 countries, including fromage-loving France. And 10 years ago, Charles got a royal seal of approval from one of his esteemed customers, the Prince of Wales.
Right, here we got cheese. It's quite pale in colour, but when it's finished, it has to be a dark red. Now, to encourage the red to grow, we need to wash it in perry.
Perry is like cider but made from pears grown on Charles's farm. It's poured into a bowl of brine before the cheese's rind is washed in the liquid. The alcohol kills off mould and creates the right conditions for bacteria to grow on the rind, giving the cheese its distinct smell and flavour.
The reason we called it is it's a very smelly cheese, and we didn't want somebody who likes mild cheddar to buy it by mistake and get home and call the health man saying, my cheese has gone off. Now you can see the red growing. This is what we want to grow, and that is the Brevibacterium linum. And as part of its growing process, it gives off a smell.
Does it taste as strong as it smells?
No. Obviously, the outside is pretty strong and smelly, but the flavour that permeates it is much more gentle.
The cheese is washed in the brine and perry solution once every 3 days, and after about a month, it's ripe and ready to eat. And on site, Charles also makes a perry spirit, an accompaniment to wash down the cheese.
Now here's the finished product. And you can see it's very, very pink, very smelly.
Oh, yes, definitely. Quite a different colour.
Yeah.
It's quite rich looking.
Charles says his cheese's bark is worse than its bite. I wonder if Sue and Charles will agree. It's won the crown for Britain's smelliest cheese.
It's very smelly, pungent, but smooth, and it's no other flavour I've ever tasted before.
It's got a very strong flavour at the end. I like it very much.
That's kind. Well, you'll have to come and live in Gloucestershire and you can eat this day in, day out.
Oh, definitely. Thank you.
There's a bit more for you to send you on your way.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Travelling 28 miles west takes us to our second house in the hamlet of Harescombe. 1.5 miles from the village of Haresfield and 5 miles south of Gloucester, it's on the western edge of the Cotswolds. The pretty village of Haresfield has a great dining pub and fantastic views from the Haresfield beacon across the valley to the River Severn. And with the Cotswolds Way passing through it, there are plenty of great walking opportunities. Back in rural Harescombe, which sits in the valley at the foot of the beacon, is our second house, a semi-detached period cottage which I'm hoping will please Sue and Charles, despite the dreadful rain.
So it might be grey and it might be wet, but here is your second property.
Is it the whole of the property?
Have you got your eye on the whole of the property?
I'd like to, but it's...
OK. It is semi-detached. But it's not a terrace. That was house number 1. But house number 2, we've gone for semi-detached, but the proportions are much, much larger.
Right.
Originally, this would have been 3 or 4 cottages, can you believe?
Wow.
Our house, the one that we're looking at, has been extended out the back.
Yes.
And is quite substantial.
I like the Cotswold stone. So far, so good.
Well, on that note, come on, let's get out of the rain.
This cottage dates back to the 1800s and was built from Cotswold stone and tiles. Moving inside, we're starting off our tour in the sitting room with a wood-burning stove as its centrepiece.
Okay, we sort of gravitate towards the fire.
Oh, it's a nice large fireplace. Is it inglenook?
It is. It is an inglenook, and
Yes.
it's got the original Bresma beam there.
It makes a really nice feature.
So what do
Cosy.
we think as we walk through the door?
I like the character and I like the size, yes. I think it's a homely room.
Charles?
It's less detached than I would have liked. And I'm
Okay.
still slightly battling with that one. I feel as a house there's more I might need to do with it,
Yes.
I think, than house number 1.
You're absolutely right. You'd
Yeah.
need to put your own mark on it.
Next to the dining room in the middle of the house is the kitchen.
So with this kitchen, you really are in the heart of the home. And the way they've set it up, you've actually got your dining room there next door, and it looks out onto your garden.
I do like ranges, and that's absolutely fabulous.
What about the size, though, Sue?
If I had the money to do it, I would actually have it redesigned and make it one big kitchen. So it would be a kitchen stroke living area.
And how does our French master feel?
I do like this kitchen a lot.
Well, let's keep going through.
On the side of the property is a recent addition, a wood and glass garden room.
It's green oak. The owner built it himself.
It's gorgeous.
And guess what? It's got underfloor heating.
Oh!
The way they designed it was that they could use it all year round.
I love this aspect here, looking out.
You get to look at your garden.
Yeah.
All the way around.
Surrounded by flowers.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The plants are all in full bloom, aren't they? Look at those
Yes.
flowers.
It's beautiful.
It's a lovely room, it's lovely and warm,
Yes.
especially on a cold day.
Yes.
I'm not sure what to think of Sue and Charles's reactions. Can they see beyond the fact that this house is not detached? Moving to the first floor, I want to show them the sleeping quarters.
So upstairs, this is where the house was extended. That was originally the outside wall.
Right.
So you've got a bedroom behind us, a second bedroom there, family bathroom, and then come on in, because the third bedroom is the master. It also has an ensuite.
Ah.
And can we have a look at the ensuite?
Go on, have a look.
Thank you. Oh, it is quite big.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good size.
Is there a bath in the house?
There is, next door, family
Oh,
bathroom.
you just said that and I don't listen properly.
That's a good size.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's really nice.
That's the happiest, Sue, I've seen Charles all day.
He does like his ensuite.
So the bedrooms are of a good size.
I much prefer having space around me, and I'm looking for a house with potential.
Yes.
And this house has got potential.
Is it a feeling when you walk through the door?
I wouldn't say any of the house wows me, but I think it's got potential.
Absolutely. It's got a very strong, warm, family, lived-in feel, which I think is a very strong feel to it.
Sue and Charles seem to be keeping an open mind about this house, and I wonder if the question of its cost will help them make up their minds as we head back downstairs to find out the all-important price tag.
Right, well, shall I go first this
You
time?
go first.
I suggest 475.
Like that, Sue.
475.
I like that.
Well, the last house was 445, so I will say on balance, I'll go for 474. I'll go slightly under Sue.
OK. The asking price is £525,000.
Wow, yes.
The owners are aware of your budget and they're happy to have a conversation. So why don't you have a wander, have a think?
Okay.
I'll see you when you're ready.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
This 19th century property comes in at £25,000 under budget and has the local features Sue and Charles are looking for in their new home. Its kitchen and dining room offer them the option to convert it into a space that will suit them, and the new garden room with its splendid views of the grounds is certainly a very attractive feature. Situated close to villages and towns means this house offers Sue and Charles a slice of country life with access to shops and cafes.
You've shown us another great property, I have to say. I like this house because it's got a very warm, casual, relaxed family, lived-in feel to it, which is wonderful.
Overall, I think this house is very homely, probably a very robust dwelling, I would say. I think this house has good potential, but whether it's right for us, I'm looking very much forward to seeing what we see tomorrow for comparison.
Now, I hope this awful weather hasn't dampened your spirits too much.
No, it's been wonderful to see the second property.
Yeah.
The weather, well, it's England. We're used to the weather.
We're remaining positive.
Absolutely, we've had a wonderful day and I can't wait until tomorrow.
That's the spirit.
It's the second day of our house hunt for a Cotswold stone property in Gloucestershire for French teacher Charles and his wife Sue from the Hertfordshire town of Hemel Hempstead. They've got a budget of up to £550,000 to spend on a detached home with a large garden for their beloved dog Bertie to call his own. Still to come, we'll be setting pulses racing with our mystery house.
That?
Oh,
It's lovely.
And I'll be rubbing shoulders with 3 Olympic heroes.
These are the 2 gold medal horses from London. This one's known as Ooty and this one's known as Blueberry.
So we've shown Sue and Charles 2 of our properties here in, well, rather rainy Gloucestershire, but we haven't managed to find them their perfect detached home as yet. To be honest, we are struggling here in the Cotswolds with their requirements on their budget, but not one to admit defeat, we still have the mystery house up our sleeve. Now, this time, it is detached. And if they can get over their love of Cotswold stone, well, we may be in with a fighting chance. Was yesterday a little bit of a reality check for you?
probably. It's a bit daunting. We haven't seen detached yet, which is really what we're trying to do by coming away from London, is to get the detached property in a plot.
So any conclusions after the properties that we showed you yesterday?
I would conclude that I like the area even more than before. However, I think we might have to make more compromises than we were prepared to at the outset.
Travelling 8 miles south is our final property in the hamlet of Windsor Edge, on the outskirts of the market town of Nailsworth, 30 miles west of Cirencester. Nailsworth would be a haven for Charles, with its quirky shops, restaurants and that all-important deli, and it's been voted one of the top 101 places to live in Britain by a Sunday broadsheet. 5 minutes drive from Nailsworth and perched high above the Woodchester Valley is our last Gloucestershire offering. Its rendered exterior may not be the Cotswold stone home Sue is dreaming of, which has afforded it the title of our mystery house, but it is detached and offers a great deal of home for Sue and Charles's money.
I promise you, through this mist and rain, the view will be worth it.
Look at that. Oh,
because
that's
here is the view,
donker.
and here is your Edwardian mystery house.
That?
Oh,
It's lovely.
look, I've lost them already. Go on, have a little look. Have a
That
little
is
look.
the most beautiful thing I've seen since I gazed at my wife in the morning.
Really?
Yes.
You have all the lines. So why is this our mystery house then?
Because it's really nice.
It's not Cotswold stone.
No, it isn't. Although the cottage is rendered, the colours used are very sympathetic. That's what I like. It's sympathetically done.
Good.
This handsome house dates back to the early 1900s and is laid out over 3 floors. We're going straight to the front of the property to the smallest of 3 reception rooms just off the entrance hallway.
I'm just going to say, probably one of the smallest rooms in this house.
It is obviously small, but that's fine. It's got a lovely wood burner.
It's very pretty.
Can you imagine yourselves in here?
It's very cosy.
You did want a man cave, and I've managed to ignore that in the past 2 houses, haven't I?
Yes.
Quite successfully. Yes. Perhaps we need to find a man room for you here. Does that sound
That
good?
sounds promising.
Next to this small sitting room is a rather impressive dining room.
Oh, wow.
That's really nice.
Come on through, because I want to show you a second sitting room, stroke reception room.
It's really nice.
Charles, we did talk about you having your own room. Is this going to be a bit too large for you?
No, it's absolutely fine. A good sturdy lock on the door and we're in business.
Now, you wanted space with this property. You
Yes.
mentioned the dog sort of dominates.
Yes, he seems to.
Is this sort of what you had in mind?
Yes. Yes, nice lot of room.
Behind this sitting room is a utility room, and just behind the dining room with windows overlooking both sides of the grounds is the kitchen, an extension from 2002.
Wow.
Another large space.
Yeah.
Light, airy and full of joy.
Fantastic.
So the downstairs of this property, how are you feeling?
Excited, relieved.
Are you?
Yes.
Not as much as me.
All fantastic. After the first impressions, you could only go downhill, and you haven't gone downhill yet.
This mystery house may not be built of local Cotswold stone, but that doesn't seem to matter as Sue and Charles are totally smitten. And I think they'll fall for the first floor too. Just opposite the stairway is a family bathroom. There are 4 bedrooms, and to the front is the master.
Any idea how many bedrooms this house has in total? Because you wanted 3 ideally.
I'm going to go for 3 plus another little room.
I'm going to say 4 good-sized rooms.
I'm going to say 5.
Really?
3 doubles, 2 singles.
Oh, fantastic.
Wow.
So on this floor, you've got 4 bedrooms in total and a family bathroom. But you've got an additional bedroom up in the loft with an ensuite bathroom as well. So instead of a man cave, perhaps, Charles, I'm thinking man attic.
Man palace.
Man palace.
Fantastic.
Things couldn't have gone better on our tour of this distinguished house, but the garden's just as important as the inside, especially for Bertie, Sue and Charles's beloved English pointer. Outside, the grounds surround the house, and we're headed to an elevated section with far-reaching views across the valley.
Now, I'm not going to give you an acre of land because I don't have an acre of land to give you here, but I can give you quite a substantial garden, fenced.
Yes.
Perfect for the dog.
Yes.
You've got a very large garage behind us with plenty of storage. So, what do we think?
I can't find anything wrong with it.
Can you not?
Nope.
Now you're going to be in a bit of a quandary, aren't you? How much do you think the asking price is?
Well, the top of our budget is 550,000, so I shall say 550,000.
And I think this is such a good house. So I think 575, and then you're going to say it's actually 585, but there's room for negotiation.
Are you hoping? Are you hoping?
I'm hoping for 420.
Well, I can put you out of your misery because it's not 420.
Yeah.
The asking price is £550,000. You were spot on, Sue.
Oh, she usually is.
So how do you feel about that?
Oh, it's exciting.
I'm almost lost for words.
Almost.
Almost.
Got the last word.
And on that note, I guess you do want to take a second look, don't you?
Oh, yes, please.
Be my guest. Go on.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
They are so comical, but more importantly, they love the mystery house. Now, I was worried yesterday. We really struggled to find them what they wanted on their budget, but this, the mystery, answers all their prayers.
Bang on their upper budget, this detached period house goes above and beyond Sue and Charles's expectations, even giving them 2 more bedrooms than they asked for. It's got a safe garden perfect for their young dog to run around in, and it's close to a town with all the amenities that are important to Charles. It may not have the Cotswold stone exterior Sue was hoping for, but she's more than happy with the sympathetically painted render.
Oh, that's very sweet. You could get a bed or two in here.
It's a good size single,
Yeah.
actually. Let's have a look down here. This could be your man cave.
Oh, don't worry, I've got plenty of ideas.
Oh, this is absolutely amazing, this mystery house. It's such a wow. I'm just really excited, and it does offer us virtually everything. I cannot think of any negatives. Absolutely brilliant.
So this is the attic.
Now then, what's in here?
Another double bedroom, you can't argue. That's fantastic. It's the house that keeps on giving. It's quite extraordinary. We just took one look at the view and I didn't even need to see the house. I'm really excited, really excited.
I actually feel quite guilty dragging you away from the mystery house.
Well, I feel as though I've already moved in. What about you?
I'll move in with you.
Oh, fabulous.
Becomes part of the deal. And look at the difference with the view. Now the sun's come out.
I know.
So why don't we go somewhere quiet, perhaps have a little drinky, and we can discuss what your next move's going to be.
Oh, super. Thanks.
The scenic rolling landscape of Gloucestershire lends itself to horse riding, and Newent in the northwest of the county is home to a national equestrian champion. Carl Hester was brought up on the Channel Island of Sark, which has no cars, and he's been riding all his life. In 2012, he was part of Team GB's dressage team, who won gold at the London Olympics. I've come to his training ground to meet him and his world-class horses.
So, Carl, good to see you.
Nicki. Hi, nice to meet you again.
Thanks for inviting us to your yard. I can see you're hard at work.
Yeah, well, this is what goes on here at home. We train the young horses here. It's far from the glamour of the Olympics and championships that people normally see us at, but here's where the daily training takes place in the arena. Dressage is a very intense sport. It takes probably 5 or 6 years to get the horse to Grand Prix standard, but dressage is such a huge part of everybody's routine with horses.
Dressage is a French term meaning training. It has its roots in ancient Greece and, simply put, is the highest level of horse training.
Now, you mentioned Grand Prix. Is that the very top level of dressage?
Yeah, Grand Prix is what you see at Olympics.
So what are you looking for then here? Because it's all about the horse with the rider, isn't it? You couldn't put another rider on this horse.
That's right. It's about the harmony between the horse and rider. That's what we're starting with. I mean, what we're looking at here is Amy's just teaching him to canter when she says to trot, when she says to walk. So you're not supposed to be able to see the rider moving. You know, it's very discreet. You just see the horse doing the movements and the rider's supposed to look like they're just steering. It's almost like the perfect marriage between horse and rider.
She makes it look so effortless.
Well, this young horse is just at the beginning of his dressage career, but 2 of Carl's stallions are already champions.
So I've got some prezzies, Carl. Are we allowed?
They'd be very happy to eat those, yeah.
There we go. God,
This is Utopia, and these are the 2 gold medal horses from London. Utopia, Vallegro. This one's known as Uti, and this one's known as Blueberry.
So what makes these horses so special?
Well, they really are able to cope with any atmosphere. They are almost like police horse in a way. So, you know, you could actually ride these 2 guys down the M25. They have that ability to be able to be relaxed in any situation, like the Olympics, like World Cup finals, noise and a lot of people, and yet they have this incredible presence and energy when they're needed to perform in the arena.
I feel very lucky to be in the company of 3 Olympic gold medal winners, and Carl's going to give me a dressage display on 13-year-old Fine Time, who's the current British dressage national champion.
I'll show you what a canter pirouette should look like. Okay. I'm going to canter him this short so that he's almost on the spot. I make it smaller and smaller, and I'm looking to try and get 6 to 8 steps, and it should be on a dinner plate.
Now, I do ride. I'm a passionate rider, so I can appreciate how difficult that is.
Dressage is one thing you can get better and better at, so that's the good news for you, Nicki.
There's hope for me,
You
is there,
are only
Carl?
going to get better with years. I've now done 5 Olympics, and my best Olympics was my 5th one, so it does show, you know, 25 years of practice, you could also be taking a medal home maybe at that time as well.
I'm not sure I'll ever win a gold medal for dressage, But let's see how I've done in my quest to find a perfect Cotswolds home.
Well, yesterday was a little bit of a washout with Charles and Sue, but today has gone so well. They've fallen in love with our mystery house. But how much do they love it? Will they put in an offer? Let's find out. Well, Charles and Sue, I have to say, we've had a very entertaining few days. So tell me, you know, we started off with this wish list. I must admit, I was struggling. You know, yesterday we didn't end on a high. We saw super properties, but they weren't quite right for either of you, were they?
Well, the first two houses, as nice as they might have been, just weren't our cup of tea. And then when you showed us the mystery property today, that was such a surprise because by this time I had expected the third house to be not to our taste. And as soon as we looked at the front of the house, we both said, wow, this is definitely got something about it.
So here we are, we're already waxing lyrical about the mystery house. I mean, it was right at the top of your budget. Where do we go next with that property?
Even though it's the top of our budget, there's always room for negotiation, and we're going to put an offer in later.
You are?
We are.
We are, yes.
I'm really, really delighted. What is it about that house here in Gloucestershire that so works for you?
To be honest, if I saw that house online or the pictures, I wouldn't have given it a second look.
Would you not?
Nope, I wouldn't, because there's no way that any picture could justify the amazing views, the size inside and out. You just can't encapsulate it.
Because, of course, you didn't want hills, ideally, did you? You wanted flat land, you wanted an acre, you wanted outbuildings. And then we show you the mystery house, and that seems to go out the window.
Yes. You know, there was enough garden, good views, a solid house, enough character and enough age on it.
You really have fallen in love, haven't you?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Well, I'm thrilled that we've been able to help you because, of course, this is the first house that you'll have bought together. You have made us all smile and chuckle. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes.
You're welcome to come and stay whenever you like, Nicki.
And I will take you up on that offer.
Fantastic.
Charles, Sue, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So after a bit of a rocky start with Charles and Sue, we eventually found them their perfect mystery property. And as we went to say goodbye, they were on the phone to the estate agent, putting in an offer. I'm thrilled for the both of them. I'll see you next time.
Sue and Charles hoped to buy the mystery house, but unfortunately the sale fell through, and they've since had an offer accepted on another property. If you'd like to escape to the country in England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, or perhaps even further afield to the continent and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.